It hurts more than you think. You send that pitch, you craft that email with blood, sweat, and every ounce of hope you've got. And then, silence. Nothing. No reply, no feedback, no thanks, but no thanks. Just gone. Like you never existed to them. This isn't just annoying. It's like being left out in the cold, watching your future slip through your fingers without a trace of explanation. It cuts deeper than rejection, because, at least when someone says no, you get clarity. You can move on, pivot, fix the parts that don't work. But ghosting? That's the cruelest silence, the unknown, and it's deafening. You're not losing it. You're not paranoid. The truth is harsh. Investors ghost founders all the time. And the reason isn't always because you pitched badly or because your idea sucks. Sometimes it's not about you at all. Investors have their own walls. Walls you don't see but feel every time you wait for a response that never comes. There's a fog in the venture world, a hidden game where communication vanishes for reasons no one dares to admit out loud. You're stuck in the middle, desperate for a break, drowning in waiting rooms and unread messages. But here's what no one tells you. The real reason investors ghost isn't about being rude or careless. It's about fear. Not yours, theirs. Fear of commitment, fear of missing out on a better deal, fear of losing control. The startup world is a battlefield where decisions are heavy and consequences gigantic. Investors don't ghost because they hate founders. They ghost because they want to keep their options open, even if that means burning bridges politely. They're pulled between chasing the next big thing and managing all the chaos on their plates. Ghosting is a coward's way out, a silent retreat from responsibility. Yet this ugly truth is a golden window if you know how to look. It means ghosting is not random. It follows patterns. It hints at invisible rules that no founder is taught. So many founders think the best way to get funding is by stunning with a flawless deck or star-studded advisors. But what really moves the needle is connection and emotional clarity. Investors go silent when they don't feel the human behind the deal. They ghost not because your numbers are weak, but because your story doesn't grip the fire in their gut. This is where everything changes. You must stop chasing cold numbers and start lighting fires in their imagination. Investors want to feel like they're not just funding a business, but joining a battle, a cause bigger than spreadsheets or exit potentials. The stories that get ghosted aren't lacking power, they're lacking humanity. You must make your pitch not a presentation but a declaration. Show that you understand their pain and share their hunger for something more real, more raw, more unpredictable. Listen closely. Ghosting disappears when founders step out from behind slides and shine a light on their own relentless journey. The failures that broke them and learnings that built them. The moments when everything seemed lost, but they fought anyway. Investors don't invest in ideas. They invest in grit, the messy human grit that no Excel sheet can capture. If your story makes them lean in and feel your fight, silence becomes impossible. Because then, you're not asking for money. You're offering them a chance to be part of something that defies the system, something revolutionary. But here's another secret buried deeper than silence. Investors ghost because they feel trapped too. The venture world's invisible chains bind them. Pressure to be perfect, to deliver the next unicorn, to tell success stories that keep the hype going. They're terrified of being wrong. When founders act desperate, needy, or unclear, it fuels their doubts and triggers their retreat. You must never make the investors fear your enemy. Instead, become their relief. Become the spark that releases them from their doubts by being real, raw and confident without begging, hungry without pleading. This is where the rare and the exceptional separate themselves. Not by trying harder, not by blasting more emails, but by becoming sovereign in their pursuit. Sovereign means owning the power to accept silence without crumbling, to use ghosting as a mirror instead of a wound. It means knowing that every no and every silence can teach you about alignment, who's truly meant to back your vision and who's just noise. When you master this, you turn centuries of painful rejection into a tool that sharpens your focus, your narrative, your war for impact. Remember, the ecosystem you're fighting to enter was built on illusion. It promises fairness, transparency, glamour, but delivers confusion, silence, and broken promises. Investors are caught in this maze too. The system eats bridges, eats dreams, and spits out silence. That's why the solution isn't just to find better investors. It's to build a new system that amplifies true connection, not just contracts, that honors individual bravery, not just business size. It's about creating networks where ghosting has no place, because trust is the foundation, not just a buzzword, but a practiced reality. You might ask, how do you build this? How do you stop waiting to be saved? First, start by finding your tribe, the few who burn with the same intensity, who get that the real game is becoming more than a founder or an investor, becoming a warrior of transformation. Seek connections where courage and critique fuel the bonds, where patience embraces the long game instead of the quick win. These connections don't ghost. They challenge, support, and push you without the cruelty of silence. Second, embrace transparency without fear. When you write to investors, be clear about what you want and what you bring to the table. But don't hide your struggles or your doubts. Show that you are not afraid of the dark parts of this journey, because you've lived through them and learned the hard way. This kind of honesty disarms skepticism and builds a rare currency: trust. Trust makes ghosting a dead end. It makes investors lean in because they know you're playing a real game, not hiding behind polished illusions. And third, redefine patience. Real progress is not a sprint. It's a marathon built on relentless, consistent effort and small wins. The investors who ghost today might call tomorrow. The doors that close slam shut only to create new passageways you never saw. When you stop seeing silence as rejection and start seeing it as part of a larger process, your mind clears. You stop swimming in frustration and start navigating with purpose. This is the mindset of the few who become legends in this ruthless arena. This understanding that ghosting is not a personal failure, but part of a broken system and a deeply human fear, gives you the power to move differently. It frees you from the trap of over-apologizing, over-explaining, and chasing ghosts that never respond. It lets you focus instead on finding the rare few who hear your fire and want to stoke it rather than smother it. That's where true growth happens and where the future is born. Imagine a world where founders and investors don't ghost, where they don't hide behind silence and broken promises. A world where every connection pulses with intention, where every pitch opens a door, not closes it. This isn't a fantasy. It's something you can build yourself by being more than a founder or investor, by becoming a sovereign creator of networks, relationships, and realities. You don't need to play by the old rules, because those rules are designed to keep you silent, small, and controlled. You are meant for more than waiting for a reply that never comes. You are meant to rewrite what's possible, to forge connections that shatter the noise and silence. The real reason investors ghost is just one part of a bigger story. A story where the few who refuse to accept silence transform it into a force that shakes the system from within. They become the signal in the static, the heat in the cold, the spark in the shadow. So when the silence falls again, don't collapse. Lean in. Use it. Grow from it. Find those few rare ones who don't ghost because they're not afraid to join the rebellion you're leading. A rebellion against the old game of silence, fear, and loneliness. You're not alone, and ghosting isn't the end. It's just a call to become a different kind of founder. Stronger, sharper, free. The world you want, the real world, is built by those who don't fear silence but break it with purpose. Get ready to break it.